Hello, everybody. Today is April 2nd. It's a lovely Wednesday. It is Liberation Day. I'm just in my garage. I got some new apron orders that I gotta get done. So let's begin the first process, getting it done. And gotta get the orders, of course. Just bear with me. Walk with me. Walk. Boop. All right. Hello, hello. Just some guy in his garage getting orders out and talking to the people of the internet. How's everyone's day going so far? It's the big day, guys. Liberation Day. I'm just curious to see how it goes because I know if you guys pay attention to the market at all, it opened up lower than the days before. So we'll see how it goes. As I was saying yesterday, I feel like the air is heavy. Now, the time that I'm recording this right now, it's like 12 o'clock my time. That's 11 o'clock, sorry. I believe they're going to make an announcement at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So we're going to see. I was reading that avocado producers in Mexico have stopped producing avocados. Yeah, because they don't know what's going to happen. And I was thinking about that, and I thought that was kind of funny because how do you make less avocados? They grow as they grow. Like, so I thought that was a nonsense story, the headline that I saw. They were like, avocado growers have cut down production in anticipation for Liberation Day because they want to see how the tariffs work out. But I was thinking to myself, like, how does that even work? How do you all of a sudden, because avocados grow on avocado trees, right? So the big cost is maintaining the trees. How do you scale back the production on the trees? Do you start chopping down trees? Like, I don't know why. I thought that was pretty funny. That's a nonsense story. See what's going on in the world now. If you guys are paying attention at all to I guess the news, everyone's talking about how the Wisconsin Supreme Judge seat was lost by the Republicans. But have you seen those commercials? Those attack ad commercials were crazy because on both sides, if you have time, go watch any of these the attack ad commercials for the Wisconsin Supreme Court judge, because they were both calling each other light on I'll just say trafficking of the younger kind. So they were both saying the same thing, but for the other person. So that was crazy. So then it made me think, like, Wisconsin is like a terrible place to be in general. Because they were like, oh, this judge is light on crime. And then they were like, that judge is light on crime. And so they were both doing the light on crime thing for the other side. So then it seemed to me, as someone that's not in Wisconsin, I was thinking to myself, like, that just sounds like a terrible place. Because now it just seems like there's crime everywhere. So I thought that was very silly. What else did I see on the news that I thought was interesting? I saw a story about this. I think she's Ukrainian. I'm not sure. Like, this model that was found on the side of the street in Dubai. She basically boarded a plane. She's a up and coming model, apparently. She boarded this plane, and then she ended up in the streets of Dubai with a broken back and fractured limbs and whatnot. I thought that was pretty crazy. That's a crazy story. Like, how crazy is it that like I guess that whole like modeling world is just so sketchy. Like she even told, like I was reading, it caught my eye because I was like wondering, like, oh no, but you know she actually survives, which I thought was pretty interesting because when you hear broken spine and everything, I got to dig deeper into the story because it shows. I think her mom was saying that, oh, she'll make a recovery and whatnot, but that's just one of those stories because you hear those stories about like how like especially when like Instagram first started, you know, like there'll be these guys and they'll fly the girls out to take pictures, and especially in like Dubai or the Emirates or whatever, and they do it all for the pics and whatnot. But I don't know, I just thought that story seemed crazy. Supposedly what happened was she was at a construction site and she fell. But when I see that, I'm like, I don't know. And they left her on the side of the road, and then someone just found her, and yeah, she was missing for like 10+ days. That's a scary thing. Scary thing. Yeah, I want to look more into that story. For some reason, I don't know why that story just caught my eye. So I wanna dig into it, see what exactly what happened. Maybe I'll do a longer video on it. What else is going on in the world? Dude, the air just feels heavy. As I was saying yesterday. Yesterday was April Fool's, and I feel like there was no fooling going around yesterday. It felt heavy. Oh, you know what else I thought was really crazy though? Going back to the avocado story, is that this weekend I went to a farmer's market, and it's like a farmer's market swap meet, flea market kind of style. If you're not over here, some people call it flea markets. But we were looking for avocados at this market, and I noticed that they didn't have any. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Avocados. And then I saw today, the story about how uh, this area in Mexico, they're scaling back their avocado production because they're afraid of the increased tariffs will lower demand of avocados. And I was thinking to myself, like, and calling back to it earlier, I'm like, how do you scale back avocados? They grow on trees. Whatever you get, you get. There's that whole thing about, oh, the yield wasn't very good this month or whatever. So do they water the trees less, or what's going on here? Oh. What else did I see? So what else I saw? I saw this. I don't know what this. There's this girl on TikTok. She, all she does all day is actually cook like steaks and eats it on camera. And and then there's all these comments from people saying that she should open a restaurant. I'm like thinking to myself, like, steak is literally one of the easiest things to cook. You don't need to open a whole steak restaurant. That's crazy. If you guys are wondering what I'm doing, getting it ready to press, making aprons, and later I'll show you guys the aprons. And as I keep saying every time, what I find very funny is these are couples aprons, right? And I got 3 of them to make today, or 2 of them right now. I gotta make another one tomorrow. But they're custom aprons, right? And every single time, without fail, actually, you know what? These guys did a very good job. But most of the time, what I find funny is the design is like this, right? It says, here's one. Here's the design, right? It's, flip it over to this. Head chef and a grace, right? Sous chef, Ethan. They did a very good job because most of the time the people order this design, for some odd reason, they always put head chef guy, female chef as the sous chef, as the lady. But we all know in the house, the lady usually does the cooking. Now, then again, I was thinking about this earlier too, is that it seems like the newer generation of ladies do not know how to cook. I don't know. I don't know why. It's a thing. Boop. What else is going on in the world? Oh. All right. First things first. She needs to heat up. Machine is hot. We're hot, guys. We are hot. Gonna press it very soon. Doo-doo-doo. What else is going on? I think that's it. I mean, you know what's really crazy is, so I was mentioning before, there's that story about that model that basically got trafficked into Dubai, and then I mean she was basically left for dead. Right? But you know what's crazy? I saw another story of another lady, falling off some kind of, like she fell off a building and just like everyone's falling everywhere. Oop. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, am I missing one? Oh, that's weird. Doesn't seem right at all, everybody. Not seem right at all. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, today is Liberation Day. Let me guys know if you are worried, not worried, excited, not excited. I think it really depends on which side of the spectrum you're on. Some people think it's the end of days. Oh, that's fun. I was just thinking, like, you know, if it was the end of days, what's the first thing you would do? What is the first thing you would do? All right, let's get going. Boom, 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 boom. Next. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. Troy. What is going on in your neck of the woods? Let me think. End of day 7. What would I do first? Boop, boop, boop. Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Liberation Day. All right, let's make some aprons. Gonna make some aprons. People gotta cook. Ooh, got people from India. How's it going in India? You guys can see what I'm doing. All right, back to the first order is for Joseph and Haley. Joseph and Haley, stuff is getting made. Doesn't look straight. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let's triple check before we press it. Once we press it, best wishes, take care. Oh, thank you, thank you. You take care as well. Hope things are going well in India. India is, I always feel like it's a very crazy place because there's just so much people over there that competition is fierce. like that's such a hard place, I feel like. Competition is fierce in India. All right, first apron done. Sous chef Joseph. Okay. In Navy. Sous chef Joseph, your apron is getting made with your buddy, with your partner. Haley, you think it's land of opportunities, India? I feel like, okay, let's think about India for a second. I feel like there's lots of opportunity. You know what's one thing that's really good about India and even China in a way? Because last time I was over there, it kind of I thought about this. Because there's so many people, it's so much easier to sell things because literally you have so much foot traffic. Like that's how street vendors and all the restaurants stay in business. If you do the same thing here in California, since everything is so not California, just in America, since everything is so spread apart, and you have to drive to get to places, you can't walk there, and everything is just so spaced apart. It's so hard to open a restaurant business at all because there's so many options. But in India and in China, any boba shop, there's like a boba shop or tea spot every like 2 feet from each other, and they can all survive because there's so many people, and each spot can only produce. Let's just go with tea place, right? Can only produce so much tea before before the lines start getting really long and someone else goes somewhere else. So your opportunity of you having a successful restaurant or whatever in China or in India are really high, opposed to, okay, make sure it's okay. We don't want to mess up. Okay, once you mess up, the order goes out. They complain, and then they're like, "Then I have to make another one," and then I don't make any money. So, but you know what I mean? Where you have so much, there's so much opportunity in terms of, like just not just the heads, just people coming into your restaurant. Because I remember last time I was in China, I literally saw like a milk tea or whatever place every 2 feet from each other, and they're all doing well. All right, this is the other order. Head chef Haley, 2017. Your order is done, Haley and Joseph. Order's done. It's going out. But here, there's this one spot down the block from me. They've gone through a gajillion different owners already. This one spot is cursed. And I'm pretty sure whatever neighborhood you live in, there's always like this shopping plaza or whatever that is just not meant to have anything. And this place is just so. When I first moved right here, it was a mac and cheese place. Which, okay, not every business is meant to succeed. Okay, you have a place that only sells mac and cheese, you're going out. Okay. It was a mac and cheese only place. Basically, they sold mac and cheese sandwiches, mac and cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches. It was just a melted cheese place. If it's melted cheese, they sold it, some version of it. Okay. Okay, next one. Make sure this one goes with this one. 2025. Okay. And then it became a fried chicken place. Not any kind of fried chicken place. It was a Korean fried chicken, which I actually find very interesting that Koreans are right now being known to make some of the best fried chicken. So I thought that was an interesting fact. Anyways, it became a Korean fried chicken place, which is a little bit different. The way that they prepare fried chicken is a little bit different than how you would normally prepare fried chicken. But what was different about this fried chicken place, in particular, this Korean fried chicken place, is that I guess whatever business model they did, it was modeled after the pandemic times, COVID times, and you do not order with them. It's kind of like Japanese style, where I don't know if you guys know in Japan, they loathe interactions with the customer over there. If you go to like any Japanese restaurant or place in Japan, most of them, how it works is you get like a ticket, and then there's like a vending machine outside. You get like and with the pictures of the food, you pay there, you get a ticket, you give the ticket to the service person later, and then they just pop out your food at some point. You don't talk to anybody. They don't want to talk to you. Anyways, back to this Korean chicken place that opened up here in California. So, every time a new place opens up, I like to give it a try. I like to try one time. I give you one shot, and I think that's the fair way to do it. I don't care what restaurant it is. If it opens up, I will try one time. So I go there, and there's a line because, it's grand opening. So there's a line, and then I get in there, and it was time for me to order. So I get up to the front, and I'm like, oh, I want this fried chicken, I want that. And the person who's standing behind a table with a point of sale machine, whatever cash register she has, says, oh, you don't order here. You go over there to the kiosk and order, and we just bring you out the food. And then I was like, what? Then why are you here? And there's two of them. They're both standing right next to each other, right next to a cash register, and they were literally telling me, and I guess apparently those cash registers are not registers, they're just iPads, and you do not order food with them. They just show them what your name is and what you ordered, and if you paid or not, basically. And so not only and I'm not the only person that was confused. Everybody was in line waiting to get up to the front part. And so basically half their job that day was telling people that you do not order here, which I found insane. Insane in the memory. So if I'm looking into the distance right now, my wife is trying to sneak by, and she looks super funny. Now she's giving me the evil look. So anyways, back to this fried chicken place, right? So they literally were telling people They were waiting in line to go to another kiosk to order. So basically, you wait in line to get, and so this fried chicken place lasted basically a week because the area that I'm in is very red, very old school. I think the average age around here is like 50, 60. They're not hip with technology at all, right? So, and everyone is nice. They wanted to give it a try, but like that 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 style does not work here in America. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So they went out literally within a week or so because I mean everyone was very like confused about their whole ordering system, and then it became another fried chicken place. I guess that spot really wanted to be a fried chicken place, but it's not meant to be because literally another fried chicken place. All right, this is the second person. Okay, Andrew, your head chef for Egwin is going out. It's going out. It's going out. Boom, boom. Dunsy onesies. And next, I'm make sure the design looks like. All right. And so after that, it became another fried chicken place. But this time, it became like, I feel like it's the same owner. I feel like the owner just changed the business and he realized the whole kiosk ordering system was not going to work. It became like it said like Louisiana fried chicken. It became just more like American style. And they also went out because I think everyone was just like, nah. It feels like the old school furniture store. Do you guys remember like the old school furniture store sales tactic? I always found that super funny because the old school furniture store. I gotta look into this. Who started this? If you guys remember, furniture stores, at least where I am, they're always going out of business. Like, I remember there's one furniture store, and I was little, right? So I don't know anything. And it said, oh, liquidation sale was going out of business, right? Liquidation sale was going out of business. And then this is when I was like maybe 12, 13, right? I'm like, oh man, they're going out of business. I knew that much, right? And I'm like, oh no. And I knew what a liquidation sale was. That means they gotta get rid of everything. And it said like 50% off, 70% off. To this day, it's been 10, 20 years, right? Apparently, that furniture store is still going out of business. I, I, I want to know who's the first furniture store that started that whole trend of them going out of business. I don't see it as often now because everything is so people don't go to those small furniture stores anymore. IKEA just basically killed all those mom and pop furniture stores, but literally that was the sales tactic back then. It was literally, we're going out of business. You better get your butt in here and get these sweet deals. And when you get in there, nothing is ever really on sale. It's because here's the thing, right? If they were really going out of business, it's literally like you would do anything to get rid of it, right? Because you don't want to hold it when you're going out. But these furniture stores are constantly going out of business. I wonder who was the first, because the first guy that did it must have made so much money, and all the other furniture stores were like, hey, this guy is rocking it. We too need to go out of business. So imagine back in the old days, right? You got a furniture store, and for some reason, these furniture stores were always like across the street from each other. So you can see the customers going in and out of each one, right? So it's literally like you wake up and you're trying to sell a new coffee table, and then across the street, they're also trying to sell coffee tables, right? And then you can see the customers go in and walk out with a coffee table. And then you're thinking to yourself, I have a coffee table too. I want to get rid of it. And then you see the sign, right? It pops up and it says they're going out of business. And as a competitor furniture store, you're probably thinking to yourself, this is great. They're going out of business. And I'm going to be the only person selling coffee tables now. Right? This is great. Like, how excited would you be if this is back in the old days and you had a furniture store and across the street there was another furniture store and you saw them put up a sign that said they're going out of business? You're like, all right, I just need to hold on until they finish going out of business. Oh, look, they're having a liquidation sale. Oh man, they're selling everything 60% off. And then 1 week goes by and you see customers come in and out. And you're holding firm, you got your prices set. Another week goes by and you see them doing another liquidation sale. Now it says 60% off. And you're like, okay, they're getting real desperate now. They're going to close any minute. And then like another month goes by and then it says 70% off. And you're like, okay, they're really going to go out of business now. And then 10 years later, because they basically sucked up all the customers, because why would you want to go to regular furniture store when there's a furniture store that's going out of business, supposedly selling everything for 70% off, and you go out of business, and then you start putting up liquidation signs and whatnot, and then the customers start coming in, and it saves your business, and then you realize it's because of the liquidation sale. And then down the street, there's another furniture store, right? And then they see what's going on here, and they're probably thinking the same thing. They, when you have a furniture store and you drive home, you see your competitors, right? My parents used to have a shop, and one of their favorite things to do during the weekend was to drive to all the other shops. They didn't have a furniture store; they had a nail shop. But after they closed down, what they like to do is they drive to all the other nail shops in the area, and like peeping creepers, what they would do is they would go to the nail shop after hours, right? And they would look through the window and they would count how many tables they have, how many those petty chairs they had, like, and just study the layout. And they go, okay. And then they would see like, oh, if the station has stuff on there, that means they actually have workers there, or they're empty tables, and they would count. And they go, okay, this place has this many workers, this many whatever, right? And then they'll drive to another place, and then they'll look through the window, and they're like, okay, this is the layout, this is how many people they have, and they're just trying to get an idea of what is the traffic or demand in this area. Maybe they want to open a new shop here or whatever, right? And maybe they'll see like, hey, this place doesn't have enough workers at all. Maybe this is a slow area. Anyways, so imagine you had a furniture store, right? And these two furniture stores are up the street, and you saw one when you're driving home, it says it's going out of business. You're excited. And maybe a year later, you see another one pop up and it says they're going out of business. And you must be super excited, right? About these two furniture stores that are going out of business. And you're like, oh my gosh, they're going out of business. I just need to hold on. And oh look, they're having liquidation sales. I just need to hold on. Right? And I'm gonna be the only furniture store in this whole area. And then 5 years down the road, they're still in business, but you're doing terrible. And guess what? You start putting up going out of business signs. And liquidation signs, and then you start getting customers, and then the whole block, all the furniture stores, all say they're going out of business, and it becomes a thing. All right. Ooh. Okay, this one. Make sure it's right. Okay, king. Oop. Oop. All right. Queen. Done. Done. All right. Time to pack. See you guys later.